Hey guys, I'm here to do a very quick review on Magna Insomnia by Haytam Chouirdi. A very interesting book. It's a young man. He actually contacted me online and he wanted feedback on his actual story. And I was like, yeah, I'll read your book. Let me see. Let me take a look. So he sent me the digital copy and I was taking a look at it. And I found it to be quite intriguing because it wasn't what I was expecting it to be. And as you can see from the quick picture that I just showed you on the cover, I didn't really know what to expect. And it gives me the feel of, the best way to describe it is the modern day Kafka metamorphosis. So that's what the feel kind of gave me in regards to the book. And it's about our lead protagonist who is struggling with the everyday things in life, where he's struggling with his dreams, things that he wants to accomplish in his job, things he wants to accomplish with a woman that he likes, the beautiful woman dealing with the guy who always gets the girl, but really he's just a prick at the end of the day, not being appreciated by his boss. And he's so pent up and frustrated in life that what starts to happen is every night, in the middle of the night, like roughly around 3 a.m., of course the witching hour, he wakes up and he's disturbed in his apartment from the noise that's going on upstairs. So what he does is he goes upstairs, like any typical angry tenant, and he's just like, bah, 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 like, some people have work in the morning. He probably lives in New York. But what I wanted to tell you is that every time the door opens, something bizarre happens. Like a chicken opens up the door and welcomes him into the apartment. So when he walks in, he's like baffled, he's confused, he's like, I must be dreaming, I must have not gotten enough sleep, something's wrong with me, I'm hallucinating. And the chickens address him like, no, you're one of us too. And he's like, no, I'm not. And then he sees a reflection of himself in the mirror, and he sees the chicken and he realizes he's the chicken. So there's of course a lot of symbology in the book, which is why I said it reminds me a bit of metamorphosis. And when he finally leaves and he heads his way back to bed, because I don't want to give away everything because there's a lot of symbology in the book, and I feel like it's a very rich understanding of the everyday struggle for the common man or woman. So he goes back to bed, and now he wakes up in the morning, and now he has a like the rooster. So he's freaking out because he thinks people can see this. I mean, how are you gonna walk outside with that up there? Like, how? So he's frantic and he's trying to understand, oh my God, am I turning now into a chicken? What's going on? He's freaking out and dealing with the struggles of not making enough money, dealing with the pompous guy who's totally like, I swear, this guy reminds me of the guy from Office Space who's like, yeah, can I have those GPS reports? That's exactly who he reminds me of. And he's coming to bother the protagonist, who wants to know, why does he have a hat on his head? And this continues and makes a progress every single night. And it's not just chickens. He sees different things, and they all symbolize different steps of the human mind as you're coming to cope with a pessimistic point of view. Because this guy, he doesn't see hope or light in anything, really. He just doesn't see it. And it's sad, but the level of sadness, or the depressing level of it, is so relatable when you are working hard and you just want to be valued and appreciated for all the hard work that you give. When you want someone to notice you, but you don't really think that you're worth it. When you get the person who looks like they're getting everything in life. When you see people doing wrongful things and getting away with it and still yet achieving things that you want to gain in life, it creates a war. It is the ultimate tribulation that creates a war from within yourself. It makes you become more rambunctious, and even if you're not being rambunctious in nature towards others, you're being rambunctious towards yourself. It is a book about your inner war, and I thought that was so well written and very well layered, because after I read the first chapter, I'm like, chicken, where's this going? And like, now I'm just reading because now I'm just intrigued. I found myself I didn't find myself at any point going, oh, when is this over? I was actually curious, like, well, where's this going? And as the story progresses, you kind of find out that the everyday little things that he was not paying attention to is all a part of the journey of him discovering, or rather working harder to achieve that utopian dream. But the question is, does utopia truly exist? How do you define your utopia? Is it because you decide to be happy with what you have? Or do you continue to try to be unhappy until you get certain things? Do you define your happiness as only money? Do you define your happiness as getting the girl? Does that mean if you have money, you automatically get the girl? Does that mean that you're even happy to begin with at all? So Magna Insomnia has a lot of deep layers that I deeply, really appreciated on a whole other level. And I don't even know how I would have found this book. And I kind of feel like people should read this book. And I feel that way very deeply because it's so relatable. The question is, like, to get ahead, are you the kind of person who will sacrifice another person? And they touch base on this in the book. Are you the kind of, like, because at one point he's dealing with demons, and when he walks into the apartment, because now it's become routine, he's like, what is this? What is in the apartment now? And one of the times he goes into the apartment, he's looking at demons, and they're like, well, it's part of the job. You kind of just have to do these kind of things to people. You have to do possessions, you have to do this, blah, 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 blah. And he starts to kind of question, you know, what kind of person is he? How far is he willing to go for his dreams? And does that mean in order to achieve his dreams, does he have to be the kind of diabolical person who does things on a small scale or a large scale? Do you lie and manipulate people just to kind of get what you want and get ahead? Or do you work as a team and look at people as a real human being? Do you see them as yourself, whether they come from the same background or not? It's so beautifully written, and I'm actually really grateful that he actually reached out to me. I was like, hey, I saw your channel, I want you to read this book. And I was sitting there thinking for a while, like, how am I going to explain this book? And it's, to me, the modern day metamorphosis. That's what it reminds me of. When you're dealing with these, you know, modern day challenges. And I know there are people watching this wondering all kinds of questions. You know, if I sit there and I study for school, am I still gonna get that dream job that I want? If I get my dream job, am I gonna make enough money? Am I gonna be happy? Am I gonna fall in love? Maybe you don't wanna fall in love. Am I gonna have that kids? Will I ever be truly accepted by society? Will I be accepted by my parents, my friends, my loved ones, or even just a neighbor, even though they may not know me, but I still wanna be accepted as a human being? There's so many layers in this book. And it's a book that you don't just read once. I feel like it's a book that you reread again, because I've read the book twice. So I liked it enough to read it again, took a break, and I was like, okay, let me go back to it and see what else I can learn. There's a lot of things that you can learn from the protagonist, as well as the other supporting characters, including the antagonist, who's like low-key annoying because he reminds me of Office Space GPS guy. It has all these beautiful layers, and I really think this book deserves a lot of recognition. This is not a book for the wary mind or for the people who are sleeping. And if you read this book if you are a sleeper, as they say, this book will keep you woke. I believe that's the term. I feel like that's the way how the young people are saying it, like woke, yo. I don't know. But if you are woke in that sense, this is a very relatable book. And this is actually a conversation that I recently had with a close friend of mine. He's working on his dreams, and yet if he takes the cheesy, cheap route, he'd make it big like that, and he feels. But for the product that he wants to put out, something that has strong quality, that actually promotes a positive message, he's finding that it's a bit more of a struggle, and he's dealing with that internal battle himself. And it's something that we all deal with. You know, I'm working on my career as an actress primarily. Yes, I do modeling. Yes, I do other things. But my goal is an actress, primarily film action type of actress. Comedy and drama, like in second, third place. No romances. I do not believe in love, sorry. But, however, those are my aspirations, and those are things that I'm working on. But I'm still dealing with the struggles of do I have enough gigs so I have enough food to eat? And these are all the struggles that you find in this book, and I think it's just so beautiful. Haytam did an amazing job, and I really do love this book. So if you haven't gotten the chance to sit down, pick up this book and read it, I really think you need to take the time to read it. Give it as a gift, have it for yourself. This book has beautiful layers, and it needs as much recognition as possible. That's not to shoot down any other book that I have ever read, or any other like book reviews that I have to be doing and I have to catch up on, but I did want to make sure that I covered this book for this man, and I really do appreciate you reaching out to me, because I was not anticipating this book, and it was a well surprise. It was worth it down to the very last word. I don't want to give everything away in the for the ending, but it's definitely worth it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate if you bought the book, if you read the book, please come back. Let me know what you thought about it. Maybe you know, tell me what you think the symbology means, what you think the chickens mean, the demons mean. You know, let me know what you think. How did you take on that book, or how did you find it relatable? Come back and tell me how you found it relatable. I found it relatable in the sense of, how do I achieve my dreams so I can live a healthier and happier life without sabotaging or destroying others. You know, that's my relatable aspect to that book. So yeah, make sure you come back, let me know, go buy the book and check everything out. Thank you again so much, and once again, thank you so much, Haytam, for sending me this book. It's worth every second and worth every penny. Thank you so much.